Morning viewers, welcome to Punchline Africa Television. Today, the 12th of May 2022, this is the editor's memo. The editor's memo today looks at, does Kenya have a social contract? Each country in the world has a social contract. Each country, each organization, each member state of the United Nations has a social contract. Does Kenya therefore have a social contract? The quick answer you can get is yes, it is. It has, and it is on paper, but is not in practical terms. Many countries across Africa fall victims of their own inflicted wounds because they abuse their own social contract. In Kenya, national identity is challenged. Every time there is an election, there is a question of national identity. People go back to tribal enclaves. They antagonize other tribes because of lack of a social contract. In countries like Tanzania, which have social contract, elections are held. They could have problems, but they still don't go the way they go in Kenya. I'm today looking at the social contract as the center, the epic center of every organization, every nation. 40 years ago, China did not have a social contract. They went back to the drawing table and had a social contract. They said, we have a population, ballooning population. We need to do something to change the course of our direction. The direction of China was changed after the death of Mao Zedong, who had actually taken a communist strata to the highest level. Today, China has sprung up, has become one of the superpowers with a lot of monetary muscle. It lends to us Africa. It gives us money for our bridges, our roads, our buildings, our stadiums, our hospitals. It gives us a direction, a hope that a country can go back and retain a social structure. Kenya, therefore, does not have a social structure. It has a social structure on paper, but not a social structure in practice. What can we do to have a social contract? A social contract is very important between the people and the government. The people in Kenya mutilate their own government. The people in Kenya eat their own president. The people in Kenya insult their own president. The people in Kenya belittle their own president. The people in Kenya don't tell the truth about what the government has done. But the people in Kenya expect the government to deliver some of the things, even those that they have delivered, they don't mention them. Therefore, it is time, and it's high time, that Kenya looked at what ails it. Is it the social contract, the lack of it, implementation of the social contract, of national unity? The question of national unity is very, very important. It is part of the tenets of social contract. Has Kenya risen to that level where national unity surpasses every type of agenda one would have? I think we haven't. And I think the time has come now, and it is now, that the social contract in Kenya comes in first to avoid the pitfalls that we have today in our elections. If we had a good social contract, people would not shift from one party to the other. People should not fix agreements. People should not talk about a memorandum that was written in darkness. People would not think of the memorandum broken down, but they would think of honesty, courage, determination, and above all, character. A social contract does not come without character. How many people in Kenya can resign once named out of something that a train has crashed, a plane has crashed, a plane left passengers of Kenya Airways, the Minister of Transport, resigns. A train collided with another train. The minister in charge of transport goes away. How many people in Kenya are charged with corporate manslaughter? We have buildings collapsing. The owners are left free. Yet when they were building it, they knew that it would collapse. Do we really have a social contract in Kenya? It is on paper. What else can sum up all this? The elections that we have. Today, why we have the problems, the biggest problem of even selecting a running mate is because we don't have a social contract. If we had a social contract, each candidate would know who would be the best person to choose from and where to choose from. It would not be the question of regions. It would not be, if we will not choose from here, then here will not vote for. It will not be that once I'm from the north, I cannot serve those from the south. That is the social contract. It will not be that once you are Raila, you are not liked. You cannot be sold in a certain part of the country. It will not be that I have got to go home first and get my troops ready, then come out to fight. Everybody in Kenya would be fighting on the same platform. And that platform is the social contract. The earlier we get the social contract, the earlier we get it, the better for us, for the people of East Africa and Africa at large. Most African countries, very few, have secured a social contract. Namely, South Africa, Tanzania to some extent, Ghana to some extent, Egypt to some extent, Algeria to some extent, Tunisia to some extent, Morocco, yes, they have a social contract. In most of those countries mentioned, you can move and remove a government and there will be nothing. They will come and say you have to go. Not very many African countries have social contracts. Kenya has a social contract on paper, but this social contract collapses every time there is an election. Election becomes the powder keg in the gun that brings conflict. Thank you. I've finished, Miriam. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I hope I now come back to Kiragu. Any comments from there?
Just to add a few bits, Doc, on what you said. You know, what I normally ask myself is Africa and mostly Kenya caste. Is karma catching up with us? You know, when our forefathers, when the forefathers back then and the freedom fighters fought for independence for Kenya, they did it with the determination for the grandkids to find a better Kenya, for the independence of Kenya, for the freedom. But while currently, when, for example, they can wake up, can they be happy with the route Kenya took? Will they be happy with the Kenyans? Will they be happy with their children? So, Doc, what I'm trying to say is, we have the power to change the Kenya we want. We have the power to choose the good leaders. But what we're doing is that we're having the corrupt leaders coming into power. We want those leaders who are very corrupt. As we can see, Doc, something that has never happened. As we speak, the speaker, Muturi, he's even taken sides. He chose a side, and currently he can't rule anything against Ruto because he's in his side. That has never happened. Doc, you've said about people resigning. People are not resigning. What they are continuing doing is to enjoy the government privileges, or the amenities. They are living a good life, yet Kenyans are suffering. They are pocketing big cash when the Kenyans are suffering. So the freedom that our forefathers fought for, the pain they went through, the hunger that struck them, they slept in forest where their wives are at home because they had to fight for better Kenyans. Are we living? Are we doing what they wanted? Are we having the Kenya they wanted to have? A Kenya that has got independence. Yet we have the independence, but are we living happily after the independence that our forefathers fought? The freedom, are we enjoying the fight for our forefathers? Don't keep some of these people who were born back then. Some of them could not have endured the pain that those people went through. So it's high time for us, Kenya. Can we go back and start the history from back then? Can we go back and learn the history of Kenya before we make the decisions coming this August?
Thank you very much, Miriam. I said mine. You can. I think we can compare. We should be doing these clips together, all of us.
Yes, and Doc, when you were talking and I was listening to what you were saying, and a couple of things were just crossing my mind as you were making your points, and as you just lay your case on the social contract and how much it is lacking, not just here in Kenya, but indeed across Africa. And of course, a social contract requires that citizens recognize and submit, that is part of it, to the authority of the state, which in turn provides for them. And of course, in many African countries, this is lacking. So I've been wondering why, because when we look at maybe those days Moi was the president, growing up, I was there in a huge chunk of his leadership. And there was a sense of patriotism then that I think is lacking now, a love for the country, service to the country. Whatever you do, the end goal will be, this means well for my country. And that is what is lacking. And that's why we've seen, we've replaced our national identity. Every time now we are going to the elections, we don't even have a national identity as Kenyans, because now we are running into our cocoons of the different tribes that makes up this bigger tribe of Kenya. So we forget, the bigger tribe, which is Kenya. And so we run into these other things. And our ethnicity, as much as it is the beauty of who makes us as Kenya, as Kenyans, it has also been used against each other, and our politicians really know how to spin this against us and use it against the different ethnical backgrounds we have in the country. So I think that is the biggest problem. We are not patriotic. We don't love our country enough. And so that's why President Uhuru Kenyatta, I did not vote for him. But the fact that he is the president of the Republic of Kenya, I need for him to do well, because I know if he is doing well in his leadership, the country is doing well. The country that I love is doing well. And my life is also doing well as a citizen of this country. But we lack that. So every time we see somebody else perhaps in power that we don't agree with, that is not from our tribe. So what we will do is we keep fighting, and that is the kind of opposition we even have in Africa. We keep fighting this government, we keep fighting the policies, even the ones that benefit us. And at the end of the day, it is to the detriment of the country, and that has been our biggest downfall here, in the continent. So lack of patriotism is our biggest enemy as far as the social contract is concerned. If you love your country, you will put your country first. You will make sure whatever you do, it cannot in any way hurt the economy, the lives of your fellow citizens and things like that. But we lack that. And so we do have a disconnect in that. And I don't know why Kenyans don't feel like they have a duty, because fine, the government has a duty to protect and to do all these things for us. But also in the Constitution, this is the binding agreement between the state and us. We also do have a part to play as far as building this country is concerned, as far as preaching peace is concerned, as far as spreading the national values. And the Daily Nation usually has this campaign. It has Miminim Kenya. I think I've seen it, and it's a great initiative that seeks to inspire patriotism and all that within Kenyans. I don't know if they even care to read it, but they do it on a weekly. I always see it on their paper. So that is something that we must be intentional with as a country. I don't know if we should introduce it in our curriculum from kindergarten going up. You grow up knowing I am Kenyan first, and I have a duty to this country. And this country needs the part that I'm supposed to play also to build it. Even as we complain around what government is not doing, we also do have a part to play as far as building and ensuring we do have a stable Kenya, a loving Kenya, a harmonious Kenya. Kenyans don't know their duty as far as their country is concerned, and I think that is the biggest problem. Otherwise, this nonsense we are seeing will not be an issue. And when you look at countries like the UK, US, and these European countries, they have a great sense of belonging to the countries that they have, and they pledge their allegiance to these countries, and they're patriotic to their countries. And we can see how far they've been able to come. So that is lacking here in Kenya, and indeed across many states in Africa, which is a very sad reality.
Thank you very much, Miriam. You have filled in the gap very seriously and gradually. You have filled in the gap. The truth that you have said, Miriam, here, let's be very honest. The times of Moi, there was that sense of social contract. People felt for the country. People felt, even if it was repressive, there was that sense of respect in people, in dignity. And that there was, that you could see the late Kibaki could say, okay, even the people told Kibaki, leave the government. But Kibaki could say, but leave and go where? We must moderate it within. You get the point? And there was that sense of nationalism, social contract that was based on reality. Today, someone goes and insults the President of the Republic of Kenya in a very, very bad way, says, this is it, you are nothing. There is no sense of respect because they see chapter 6. The whole of this week, Miriam, don't forget, as the judges were sitting in Naivasha, the DPP, the DCI, the judges, we are also looking at them. Can they tell us why we have allowed 40% of our leaders, of the leaders of Kenya, to be criminals, walking free and going to a ballot paper? Can you imagine a man who forged his death certificate and said he had died? Miriam, he had died. Now he has resurrected. And we have given him prominence. You get my point? We have given him prominence. He's here. The courts have allowed him to go. How many times did we cry when Obado was given bail and the two men who were working for Mr. Obado were not given bail? You remember that? There's no equality. We've caused chapter 6, collapsed chapter 6, collapsed chapter 4. Chapter 4, the Bill of Rights. We have taken those rights, brought them to a state of despondency. There is a state of despondency in Kenya around the leadership, that people have lost the social contract, their identity, the head of state. We only glorify the head of state when the army, the bands, the police are playing those good songs. What made us lose our social contract? How many televisions before they start their morning shows at 6 play the national anthem? Miriam. Kirago. Do you stand in the bed like I do, Matana, and sing the national anthem of United Kingdom? I do. God save the Queen. I swear in the name of God. I do it every morning. 2, the first stanza. The first stanza. Then I sing. I can sing the first stanza of my national anthem of Uganda. Which says, "Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom, the land that feeds us, the land with sunshine, the land with..." Oh, that one I can sing. We lay our hands. We lay our hands. Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom. We lay our future in thy hands. United, free for liberty. Together we always stand. Miriam, don't laugh, please. Don't laugh at my voice, but I've tried. Doesn't it show you that at least even I left after Museveni telling me that you can't stay here. You better make noise outside there, but not here. Saving you. I am here. I can sing my national anthem. I can sing the first stanza of God Save the Queen. And those are the tests that nowadays, if you can't sing the national anthem of the United Kingdom, and they go for you the oral test, they will not have accept you to be a British citizen. You must write some notes about the British history. So where is the contract? So once you sing your national anthem, you see the impetus, the urge coming back, the stamina coming back about your nation. But how many people in Kenya sing the national anthem before, after reading the first verse of Luke chapter 12, which is my favorite verse? Can you look for it, Stephen? Luke chapter 12, verse 2 to 4 is always my favorite, which is very clear. And then it sends me to the national anthem. We have 80 minutes on the top of the hour. Then we go to another topic. But Luke chapter 4, verse 2, chapter 12, verse 4, and verse 2 to 8. You will find my message there. It's today's message. Let me have it and see. And that is where we grow. I agree with you, Miriam, 100%. The patriotism is not there. We've lost it. You see, people could even know that there is decorum at lunch. There is Baba's milk. The community peke yake used to bring a lot of and Luke chapter 12 said the leaven of the Pharisees. Be aware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Miriam, go and read that today. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed. That shall not be revealed. Neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whoever ye is spoken in darkness shall be spoken in light. And I say unto you, my friends, be not afraid them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. But I will forever forewarn you, when you shall fear him, which after him killed hath power to east, to cast into hell. Yes, I saw unto you. Fear him, and not the 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings. That was the currency by then. And not one of them is forgotten before God. I stop there. I stop there. Bishop Matanga ends his sermon this morning. And I want to graduate comment, quick comment, my sister, before you go with that sermon.
Yes, Doc, and I'm glad I was reading along with you the Luke 12, and actually it speaks the truth. And I've picked up a piece that actually got me think so hard. The piece of nothing is covered that will not be revealed, and that is the truth, Doc. You know, so many people forget that whatever you do in the darkness will one day come to light, and nothing is hidden permanently, Doc. Whatever somebody does one day, you might think you are hiding for too long, but actually no. And that's why the phrase in Kiswahili we say siku za mwezi ni 40 haziendangi beyond 41 days. It is 40 days. So, and I think the 40 days of some people actually near, they are so near when the truth will be revealed. And we say that never do something thinking that you'll hide forever. No, one day the truth will always be known, and it will be known the hardest way. So let us all be on the lookout.
Thank you, Miriam.
Yeah, I'll just support what Cladwell just said. It's a whole chapter. Yeah, so what
And
do you do? Yeah.
That's the chapter I read, and that is whatever you do. Ruto was doing things in darkness. Finally, he has brought us the document in light. And we have now seen that simply what he was saying the other day was a lie, saying BBI was very bad. Isn't it, Miriam? Now, he has come out with the same version of BBI. Luke chapter 12, verse 4 to 8. Let's close it. Thank you very much. Coming up next is diplomatic leaks. That's how we shall be going. And then we go to rest after that. Diplomatic leaks today looks at Zambia. Is it a hovering satellite state? Is HH leading us to regime change, removing the old liberation move stamina from Lusaka headquarters, where apartheid regime used to bomb every day? Are we being captured again? Is there something hovering over Africa? Don't go away. Top of the hour. Let's come back. Hit the road. Hit the road. Hit the road. Thank you very much. Good morning, Africa.